Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Vinland Saga, Season 2, Episode 23, Two Paths. Let's see where everybody's favorite dictator Canute goes in this episode and how he will probably not listen to Thorfinn and just do whatever he was going to do anyway. Mm-hmm. The question, I guess, really is, what will Einar and Thorfinn do afterwards?
Yeah, whatever happens, they're not going to stay here still, so are they just going to leave?
And just let it be what it's going to be?
Yeah.
Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see. Check out Patreon for uncut reactions.
We listened to the full version of this song the other day, and it was so good.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's better than you think if you haven't heard it. No, that's the point.
あの時のアシェラットのように帰ってくれトレイ。お前は変なやつだから殺すには欲しい。だがこういう風にできてんだ。最後は力の強いやつの理屈が押し通るんだ。バイキングども。愚かなり我が息子、いまだ王になりきれぬか。のような下船の者どもにそなたの心情を明かしたのだ。よもや理解し合えるなどと思うたのではあるまいな。これが羊の群れ。そなたは孤高の羊飼いなのだ。皮を剥ぐ羊飼いの仕事がどうして羊に理解できようか。支配あるのみだ。それが何より羊。クヌート、お前が権力に任せて無茶を通すつもりなら殺せ。男は危険だ。一頭の羊が群れを惑わし旦那へ走らせることも。俺は殺せ。王の務めを果たせ。俺は逃げる。逃げるだけか。
Yeah, why not? You're not gonna listen to anybody. I can't kill all your men.
それだけか。他に何ができる。ここでお前と差し違えろってのかよ。お前の言う楽土ってのは多くの人を助けて少しの人を虐げる、そういうたちのものなんだろう。俺にはそれがいいことか悪いことか分かる。お前の無茶を責める資格もない。逃げるしかないだろ。エイナル、そなたは優れた戦士の術があろう。そなたはこの帝王の前へ剣をしに来たのか。そんな顔になってまで。それも無駄だった。さよなら、王兵。
Everyone's just like, wait, he's really just gonna leave?
After all of that.
「世と駆け引きをしたがる者は多い。罠にはめようとする者も。なんだそなたは大バカ者め。何の切り札もないのか。散々殴られ農場接種を言いに来ただけか。
I mean, what else can he do?
これほどくだ
It's just his style.
逃げるか。ああ。バイキングの中からこのような男が生まれうるのか。美しい男だ。争いを離れ、どこへ逃げる
As if I'd fucking tell you. Where will you go where there's no war?
我が半島は広がり続けている。やがてそこにも世の力が及ぶかもしれんぞ。逃げられるだけ逃げてやるさ。逃げる先があるうちは王の力が届かない場所にお前とは違うやり方で平和な国を作るよ。お前の作る世界では生きていけない人たちのために、お前と俺自身のためにも。世の事業の埋められぬ穴をそなたが埋めるというのか。できるのか、そなたに。お前よりずっと小さいんだ。あんまりでかい穴は手に負えねえ。お前がこの調子で人々を迫害しつつ誰にもお前を助けることはできなくなる。お前も努力しろ。俺の仕事を増やすな。まあ、口が回るようになったものだ。誰に似たのであろうな。面白い。これほど難しい和平交渉は初めてだ。なんだこりゃ。船もねえ。どこ行ったクヌート。まだ決着はついてねえだろ。
Just come back with more stuff.
He actually left.
Damn.
Did not think he was actually going to leave at all. They aren't even going to take a tithe? They're just leaving?
He has really been inspired.
"その後、クヌートはイングランド財政を圧迫していた駐英デンマーク軍に解散を命じる。最終的にクヌート直属のデンマーク人部隊は
What?
わずか16隻の艦隊のみとなった。だが、危惧されたイングランドでの反乱は起こらなかった。クヌートが軍事力を手放すことで、イングランドの諸侯はクヌートの存在を知り、
Damn.
複者の関係が変化しようとしている。
Whoa! He was really inspired by Thorfinn. Holy crap.
He just chilled right out. He's like, huh, what if I just don't oppress people? Then maybe they'll like me.
This is the epitome of faith in humanity restored. Damn. Damn. What a badass. And now he's sleeping in the woodshed again, or the stable. And Einar's not there? Oh god, he's walking with a stick.
Imagine how sore you would be the next day after that.
I fully thought Canute was just gonna kill Einar there.
No.
That would have been crazy. To prove his point, and then Thorfinn would still, like, stand firm. This is a crazy shot. This is like a season-ending type of shot.
Thorfinn、もういいのか？
ああ、まだ少しふらつくけど大丈夫だ。
Swelling really went down.
すまん。
行くのか、トロフィー。海の向こうの地へ。
フィンランドだ。
ヴィンランド。
アルネイズさんが息を引き取るとき、すぐに答えられなかった。なぜ生きなければならないのか。地獄を生き、死に安らぎを求める魂にどんな言葉をかけられるって言うんだ。生きろと言える世界が欲しい。死ぬ以外救いを持たない人たちに胸を張って語れる。死の魅力を超え、そんな血を俺たちの生きる世界に。それだけよ、それだけよ、みんな求めていたのに。飲み込めやしない。どこにもないなら、ないなら作る。エイナル、兄弟、一緒に来い。平和の国を作るんだ。アルネイズさんに胸を張って語れるような。
やろう、兄弟。海の向こうに。
So nice.
アルネイズのために。
And we'll call it Arnadica. Oh, we're already going. This show is on a different stratosphere. This show was made in a different reality. Pater's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
本当にこれでいいのか？
俺が出しゃばってやったことですから。
旦那や農場のみんな
For a second, I thought they stayed. I was like, what the fuck?
助かります。
本当にありがとう。
いや、
トルフィー、俺はあなたのようになりたい。あなたのような強くて優しい本物の男に。
オルマルさん、あなたは戦いをやめる決断をしたと聞きました。素晴らしいことです。俺は15年もかかってしまった。
What is this choir? Are you hearing this?
でも やっと自分が何をすべきか分かったんです。素晴らしい農場です。守っていってください。
Oh my god.
大旦那様、
I can't believe you're still alive.
Yeah.
力になってくださって。
言ったはずじゃ。ただの契約だと礼を言われる筋合いはない。
議員109でも持って行ってほしかった。
Didn't take any reward. Money's no good where they're going.
俺の名はロワルド、グリムの子、ロワルドだ。
What?
ありがとう、ロワルドさん。
皆さんお元気で。
His eyes is like.
He's blind in that eye? Badass.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be putting a lot of work into that farm because they have no people to help now. Oh, everyone's helping.
「私はずっと耐え抜く人生だった。苦も苦痛もこの世の断りだと。あのような者たちを目にできるとはな、ネイズ。彼らは向かったよ。私たちが想像もしなかった世界へ。
Canada geese. That's a good detail.
ここではない。どこかへ。
Is there even a next episode?
I don't.
It looks like there is. It looks like there's another episode.
It seems like that was the end, but maybe there's another episode.
Well, if that is the end, that's the best season of anime I've ever fucking watched. That's so good. Oh my god. Sorry that we weren't talking at all. It just seems like there's kind of some greatness going on. You can't really talk over it too much. Wow.
I don't know what to say about that.
Me either.
It just wrapped everything up so perfectly. They had this, the music was so good, and then they bring in that choir at the end, and it's just like,
Oh my god.
it's like, it was just perfect.
I feel like I just had like a 5-course meal that was just like the best meal of my life. I just like unbuckle the belt and just let it all hang out. It's so good. It's too good. It's like I don't even know. You can't compare it to fucking anything. Like you don't get better than this. You know, like this is, people throw around peak these days, and even I threw it around at the start as a meme. But like, you know, people say peak for fucking anything. It's just like it peak. It's like the extremes. It's like there's mid and then there's peak. Like something that's mid is bad and something that is peak is just good. You know, like it's nothing. Nothing
This
is
doesn't mean
nothing
what it
means
actually
anything
means.
anymore. like, and then you see stuff like this. Like, this is actually, you know, this is actually what you would consider peak storytelling. Like, you don't get much better than this. You know, I don't know what you could do to improve this. You know, like that's where I'm at. There's nothing that you can do to really, like, you know, what criticisms do you have?
It was just so satisfying. Like, just after everything that happened, and it just ended so nicely, you know? And that's such a bittersweet kind of ending. Like, people still died. There was still like a lot of bad shit that was happening. A lot of tragedy.
Like, Arnie still is a tragic character.
But there's also, like, you can see the good in the world.
Yeah.
It's like what you said, is like faith in humanity is restored. It's like every person that was involved in this encounter had their faith in humanity restored.
Yeah. It's like the whole thing was based on this entire conflict was based on Canute's preconception based on history, but, you know, not a crazy thing to think that once you conquer a place, they're going to try and rebel against you, and you need forces to keep that strong. Mm-hmm. So, and
his whole thing was like, you need to try and make it better. Like, he didn't think that there could be, like, the perfect world option. It was just like, I'm going to make it better than it is right now, but it's still going to be shitty for some people, and that's just the way it is, and maybe something can come with that later.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, he didn't consider the olive branch, but, he literally did what Thorfinn did. He was actually inspired by him, and I love in that scene where you see in Canute's face, like, over the course of last episode and then the start of this episode, his face is so hardened, and the whole season his face is so hardened. And then you just see the light return to his eyes, like when he starts laughing.
He just looks like a different person.
He looks like he did in season 1. Like, his face returns. There's, like, light in his eyes and in his face. Like, it's just become so much softer. And I'm sure I've seen, like, a bunch. I follow a channel that's like manga versus anime. You know, they post a short after every episode of Oshinoko and this and whatever. And, like, I can only imagine that these expressions are 10 times better in the manga, but even you can still, it comes across, like, you could see the difference here.
It's so instant, like, he just looks younger and more like a person.
Yeah. He looks like a kid. Yeah, it looks like he's actually, like, you see the light in his eye, and it's like he's receiving, it's like he's taking things in again. Like, the whole time, it's just like, his face was just like a wall.
I like that scene where it's like his dad is like,
kill him. Like, he's dangerous.
Yeah, and he's kind of been feeding off of that and, like, leaning into like those thoughts a lot more throughout this season. But then Thorfinn comes in and just shows him a different way, and that's more in line with what he actually wanted and who he actually is. It's just so good when he's like, yeah, I'll just leave then.
Yeah. It's like, what will you do now, Thorfinn? I guess nothing.
Well, if you're not going to listen to me, well, I'm going to go somewhere else and do the best that I can.
Yeah, it's literally, like you said last week, of like, come here, what are you doing, stupid? That, like, I should really cut in Canadian PSA. We mentioned it Lindsay mentioned it last time because we just watched it before reacting to last week's episode. But there's a Canadian PSA about bullying where it's like a classic 90s TV show bully. Like, give me your lunch money, stupid, pushing him and stuff. It's like, you want to go right now? Let's go. Come on. And then the camera is slowly zooming out, and then it zooms out to the whole, like, basketball court where he is, and he's alone fighting no one. Full schizo moment, but, like, those Canadian PSAs, just as a sidebar, were just so bad, but they were just so classic because they would play at every commercial break throughout the 2000s. Anyway, it's exactly that. Thorfinn did that exact. It's saying the same thing. It's like, how stupid does it look when you just, like, don't acknowledge it? When it just, like, when it loses all, like, his Canute's entire thing is based on this idea that everything is, like, the world is, like, putting upon itself all of this shit. It's like this cycle, and, like, it's like a force of nature. It's just conflict is this force of nature that just happens whether you want it to or not, or whether anybody tries or not. And all of his actions are, like, in response to that. But once you take away the trigger, then it's just like you're responding to nothing. You're responding to people who are being peaceful. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's completely up to you. And then, yeah, just the fact that, like, it was all a preemptive thing to take all of these resources and take all these other farms once you take a step back, and it's a gamble. I'm not, it's not 100% obviously, but it worked out because he is, I think somebody in the comments said that he is married to like an English princess or something. Like he's embedded by this period. He's embedded himself in their culture. He's not just like this outside invader necessarily. He has made himself a part of that. And then him giving that trust in those people and saying, I'm withdrawing all my forces. I'm not just occupying. I live here now. Like, it is what it is. And nobody rebelled. And what do you know? Like, once you have to take a chance, and it is a chance, and there's still a possibility that he could be poisoned, but that's always going to be there.
It's kind of the thing as well of like, if he kept all the Vikings there and they're not doing anything, then they might just as easily start shit as like the people that are being watched.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's good.
It's not 100% solution, but neither was taking the farm's resources and hoping that would help you down the line anyway.
And doing that and then causing a bunch of problems there, and then to help over there, and then there's going to be problems back at home when you're in England. But it's. He
never considered this possibility, and it just takes one person, one selfless person, to like try and change the tides and just show that it could be done and dare to dream, basically.
It's just so nice.
It's great to have, like, it's bittersweet, but it's so unbelievably hopeful of an ending to this tragic ass arc. Like this is Arnie's story in the middle, just like so depressing. Just the most depressing thing that you can imagine happens to her. And
just repeatedly.
Yeah, over and over again for years, twice in a row with 2 children. Like, it's the most depressing thing that can happen, and then it comes at the end here, and there's actually hope for the future, and like in both stories, not just like we did what we could, but Canute's still gonna do what he's gonna do. We're just gonna move on. Like,
it's like that is looking better. The farm is good, and I like as well that like Olmar had already tried to, like, he had been going there to do kind of the same thing, but he probably wouldn't have listened. But then afterwards, they like told Kettle and all the other people that it was him that dissuaded the king from doing that to make him look really good. And then I love at the end how he's like out there working, and then Snake and all the other guys are out there working, and it's just, and then they're getting all like blistered up on their hands, and it's like they kind of thought that they were. But that was kind of the whole thing of the farm, is like they were just off to the side, like not putting in any effort to it, and just like getting paid to guard the place. Yeah. But that was completely irrelevant anyway. So now they're like actually getting into it and seemingly enjoying it. Yeah. And like just living and working.
I thought at the end when they were all working, and then Spherical Sun was sitting off to the side. And it right before it cut to like the carve it thing, and that whole like little poem or whatever was really nice. Mm-hmm. Thoriel just like walking alone into the abyss. Mm-hmm. He's sitting here with this hoe, and he's like, and then it zooms in on his hands, and I thought it was gonna his hands were gonna relax, and it was gonna be like he died right here, and it would be like a good way to kind of cap that off, because we've been predicting every scene he's been in that he was gonna fucking die this season. Kettle, by the way, looking so pathetic, knowing that he lost the moral and the physical battle, and his mistress, he beat her to death and didn't win, and his son gave up for him, and then the guy just like kicked his ass and then left. And now
he's basically just the most useless person on this entire farm.
Half just blind, fucked up. And I like that. Remember when I was talking about like the Odin missing eye thing?
Is he, I mean...
He's blind. Okay. I think that's what this is showing. This gray ass eye. I'm pretty sure this is the eye that was all wrapped up. He got fucked up in the eye. It's so funny to me that like what I said of like this whole like one eye being like a godly thing because Odin has one eye. So like Vikings with one eye are seen as like, prideful or whatever. It's like a prideful symbol in that. And then for the most pathetic guy who lost everything because of his own like lack of understanding, and like, we've gone over this so many times. You could say what you want. He fucked up big time in so many different ways. And he is pathetic. And for the guy with that like Viking, you know, pride symbol of a character to be him, for that person to be him, I think says all you need to say. And then for the actual Chad here, Almar getting a crazy glow up. He's all jacked now, letting his hair down in the field, and he's got that girl who was with him earlier in the season. Yeah. It seems like they're kind of together now. That's good. Happy ending for him. He's working the farm himself out there at the plow. The sun's going down. You know, he's out there. And everybody's out there. And fucking Badger with one hand is out there.
It's just so... It's so good. And then with Thorgil all by himself, so you see everyone else, like, you know, kind of having a good time and, like, working really hard, and then he's just kind of, like, bitter and, like, wandering alone by himself.
Yeah.
With nothing to show, like
in this Lion King, Scar is taken over ass field.
It's a interesting as well with both him and Kettle, like the people who tried the hardest to, you know, fight, and they're left with nothing at the end, and then everyone else who ended up surrendering and being more on the side of that is like able to move on and continue to live their life.
Like, I don't know what people want other than this. You know, like, that's where I'm at. It's like, that's where I'm at. If people, like, who wants anything more than this? Does it not have enough waifus? Does it not have enough fucking magic sword powers and shit? What more do you want, people? Like, I don't get it. What more could you ask for in a story than this? This is actually the best you can get. Does this not have it doesn't have enough fucking fights for you? You gotta turn it off because it doesn't have enough fucking fights? Are you kidding me? Look at this.
Okay.
This, like, I'm serious. Like, what is the point of it other than this? Like, what is the point of watching things other than this? Like, that's how good it is. We've reached that level of quality. It's not the first thing to reach that level of quality, but like, what more could you literally ask for? Like, I don't get it with people sometimes. Like, I seriously don't understand it. It doesn't have enough fucking titties in it. I don't get it. It's so crazy to me that, like, people have been shit talking this season. This is the best season of anime that's come out in the last, like, 5 years. Like, I think the last, like, objective quality season that came out was probably, like, Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2.
I wouldn't say that this is better than, like, all of Attack on Titan.
I'm not sure. It's just they're I don't want to say one's necessarily better than the other, but like, so I'm putting things in like a bracket. Like, I'm not stack ranking one's, like, different shows. I'm just saying, like, there's a level of quality that, like, people say peak. That's what I consider, like, this, like, 10 out of 10 shit where it's like, that's it. It's like Mob Psycho. I'd say season 3 was actually in that category, but I'd say this is better than that. But like that level, that tier, it's like, how often do you, like, this, what more could you actually ask for? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Once you get, like, all it took was a couple episodes of you being bored because a pregnant woman was getting beat to death, or, like, you know, people were being enslaved and working, like, I seriously don't understand it, man. It's like, they must literally be 12 years old, because otherwise there's no excuse for that level of zoomerism of this bullshit. The zoomification of our media. This is too good this is too good for people who think like that. Like, I really try not to be elitist about shit, but when this whole season is plagued with the conversation of, oh, just, you know, like, there's not enough fights, I'm just kind of bored. It's like, once we get to that level of conversation, it's like, it's not even about elitism. It's just wrong. It's like you're supporting the wrong thing. It's like people in gaming who, like, these days are like, oh, this game doesn't have a battle pass. This game doesn't even have skins. What the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do for the next 3 months? It's like, you got a full package of a game, and there's not like stuff to grind all the time to, like, keep the Skinner box moving. Like, it's the same kind of mentality, and it's just so tiring. And it just, I've held on to that, to say that until the end, because, you know, everybody has their own tastes. I get it, but it's just like, once you see an episode like this, like, I don't see how anyone could walk away from this thinking like, oh yeah, the season ended pretty good, but, like, for the middle there, it was really fucking boring. I kind of stopped watching for a few weeks and then came back. It's like, man, you don't get any better than this, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get any better than this. That's where I'm at. Hope you guys agree. And if you don't, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. If you don't, that's fine, I guess. Everybody has a different opinion. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys, I guess, next week for the finale. Probably. It's episode 23. It's either next week or the week after. I haven't looked, but probably next week.
And then discussion, probably.
And then discussion.
I would think so.
Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Carson.
Lindsay.
Bye-bye.